Hey, what's up everybody? My name is Rangel and I'm gonna share why you have not been losing weight. All right, welcome back. Again, my name is Rangel, and so hopefully you already watched the first part of this video. What we're going through are the 8 result gaps that are holding people back from actually losing the weight. Because if you watched the first video, you know, like we pretty much know how to work out. We pretty much know what to eat, what not to eat, and we know that we should have some kind of accountability. But the biggest gap in the human brain is knowing what to do and actually doing it. And so the reason why we have this gap is there's 8 result gaps that we all fall into. Sometimes we fall into one of them, sometimes we fall into all 8 of them. I know I personally fall into all 8 of them at different moments of my life. And so the purpose of this is finding out which gaps resonate with you. And that way you could start building the bridge of knowing what to do and actually doing it. And so with that, what I'd love you to do is go ahead and like and subscribe so that you don't miss any videos that could help you along on your journey and fill in those gaps to get the results that you want. All right, so let's dive into the second part of the 8 results gap, which with result gap number 5, the perfection gap. I have to find the right time, or I have to find the right plan before I even begin. Now this is a big one for myself and other areas of my life. And I know this is a big one for a lot of people when they start trying to lose weight and things like that. They want everything to be lined up perfectly. And what that ends up happening is it just allows us to procrastinate on what we need to just do. And it's crazy. Like, I've been doing this I've been a fitness professional for over 10 years. I've probably been exercising and trying to eat right for over 15 years, and I still haven't found the perfect plan. But one thing I can tell you is it seems pretty perfect compared to when I started. And I would have never got to where I am today if I never started where I was. And so the thing with being perfect and finding the perfect plan and all of that stuff is you will never find you never find the perfect plan. You get the perfect plan by doing. And so you start off with what you know, where you are, and you go on this path. And that perfect plan gets better and better as you go. And so the only way to get the perfect plan is by doing. It's not by researching. So if you feel like you're waiting for the perfect plan, you don't know what plan is right for you, the thing you have to do in this case is you just start. And I promise you, you will find it on your journey as long as you don't quit. It's inevitable. All right. So number 5 is the perfection gap. Result gap number 6, my favorite, because I fall into it, is the inspiration gap. Like the motivation gap, right? Everyone feels like, especially when it comes to exercise, when it comes to eating right, when it comes to losing weight, one of the biggest things we hear is like, I lost motivation, I lost discipline, and I just need that inspiration to keep on going. One thing I could promise you is over 90% of the time, I do not feel like working out. I do not, even though I like it, I just don't feel like it. But guess what? I do it anyways. The successful people have the habit of doing the things that unsuccessful people aren't willing to do. And it's not because it's not because the successful people like to do it. Their goals are just greater than what they feel like at the time. And when the unsuccessful people, they give into their feelings, they give into their thoughts, and they just don't do what they know they need to do. There's a saying that motivation is going to get you going, but discipline is going to keep you going. So in this case, if you're someone who feels like they constantly need to be inspired, if they constantly need some kind of motivation to keep going, the thing that's going to get you over your bridge of knowing what to do and actually doing it is discipline. And you just have to find the daily disciplines to do the things that you don't feel like doing. And I promise you, over time, it's going to become a habit. And those habits are going to what gets you the results that you want. So, result gap, the inspiration gap. Result gap number 7, the comparison gap. Comparing ourselves to others. So this is so common in especially the health and fitness and how we look phase of results. So there's 2 ways we can compare ourselves. One, we compare ourselves to someone who's better than us. And so what happens, I used to do this for a long time, is when I first started working out, I'd look at all of these like buff people, right? And I'm like, man, they're so great. And I would compare their results to my results, and it would just get me down. Like, man, I'm never going to look like that. Like, how do they look like that? And what that does is it stops us from trying. We don't put in 100% effort because we think that we're never going to be like this other person. And then the opposite is true. Once we have a little bit of results, we look at someone who is lesser than us. And that stops our results because, well, I'm better than them. I guess I don't need to work as hard as I thought I did, right? One thing that constantly bugged me is my dad. My dad was overweight growing up, and he would always talk about other overweight people. I'm like, what are you doing? It's like, here's an overweight person comparing himself to a more overweight person to make himself feel better, right? And I know this happens so often, and it could be people overweight, it could be people who are too skinny, whatever it may be. But if we compare ourselves in any way at all, that is a gap that is going to stop you from getting from where you are to where you want to be. And as you know, the only person that we need to compare ourselves to is ourselves. And finally, result gap number 8, the expectation gap. I thought it would be easier than this, right? Especially when it comes to losing weight, gaining energy, toning our bodies. We think, like, did you ever sign up for a program and just think, all right, I signed up for this program, now the results are just going to fall off? Unfortunately, that's not the case. You actually have to put in the work. And then you start doing the work and you only lose 1 pound the first week. You're like, that's it? I put in so much work. I ate healthy for 7 days. I exercised hard. My body hurts and I lost 1 pound. I thought it was going to be so much easier than this. And the truth is it's not. Like, one thing that I heard, whenever you do something, always plan on it taking twice as long and costing twice as much. And if you have those expectations set up for yourself, you're going to succeed every time. Because the number one reason why most people quit programs, why the most people quit on their goals, is false expectations. They thought it was going to be easier, they thought it was going to be faster. And so if you set up the proper expectations for yourself, for your goals, you're going to succeed a lot more. Even if it takes you twice as long, that's still better than never accomplishing it at all, right? And so if you feel like, if you're in the middle of the journey right now, or if you feel like quitting because you're not getting the results you thought you wanted, or you thought the results that you feel like you deserve, just keep going. I promise you. Yes, you thought it was going to be easier than this. Yes, I still think this at times when I go through my plan and getting results. But one thing I can promise you is as long as you don't quit, you will reach your results. It is inevitable. As long as we stop stopping, as long as we quit quitting, you're going to reach your results. So result gap number 8, the expectation gap. And so what I would love you to do, we went through the last 4, we went through the first 4 in another video. Comment down below which gap, it could be from any video, that you feel like you fall into the most. It could be one of them, it could be all 8 of them. But let me know down below which gap resonates with you the most. And then together, we can start building the bridge from where you are to where you want to be. And on top of that, I put a link down in the description where you could get free meal plans, free fitness plans, free supplement advice, and so much more. All you have to do is click down below. Again, my name is Rangel. I don't care how much weight you lose. I care how much weight you keep off.